It's Wednesday, May 9th, I believe, and it's a rain day, and I have a big mess in here that I should get cleaned up. I think I'll put the oil pan, the filter and the pan back on the Fergie and put the oil in it, get that done with. And I just got stuff everywhere I picked up some more seed. What do we got here? I think this is bluegrass. Yeah, she didn't mark it on there, but it is. No, it isn't. It's orchard grass. Orchard grass and Italian rye. So we had rain last night, and of course my awesome Northland Buildings windows leaked. So I got to get on that project soon, but I've been spraying. I had to do the emergency spray in the vineyard. And all the other stuff is kind of an emergency too, because the weather has just not been cooperating this year at all. It's like we lost 3 weeks of spring, so everything is condensed into, a week or two. All the weeds have gotten a big head start, so it's spray. A little windy out here. It's gonna start raining in a little bit. I covered these guys up last night and took the sunscreen off and covered them up, but the wind just blew everything apart. Yesterday was really windy with the storm coming in. There was 25-mile-an-hour winds, 30 something. But that's the plan today. I'm gonna get the oil put into the Fergie, get that sealed up, and then clean this shithole. I have a few other things to do as well. Got to run to the dump, put up my tractor. Awesome vintage tractors, calendar, and a ton of work outside before the rain comes in. This rim right here looks like it's been dented and pounded out a couple times, which would explain the leak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this Forma gasket that never dries, and I'm going to put that on both sides and use the rubber gasket. And that's my solution for this. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of the gasket sealer on this as well. I mean, I really do not want a leaky damn tractor in here anymore. Get this as clean as possible. I'm just using lacquer thinner, which is some pretty damn good stuff. Now I see why the previous owner had gasket sealer kind of goobered up in there, but this rubber gasket was in there kind of cocked when I took it apart, so hopefully mine doesn't leak like the last one did. So this is supposed to air dry until it becomes tacky. Then I'll put this rubber gasket on, and then I'll put another coat of the Forma gasket on top of the rubber gasket and allow that to become tacky as well. Then I'll put it together. Get the filter on it and put it together. It's pretty tacky now. So we'll try. Doesn't really hit the whole thing. I'm gonna goober some more on. This is non-drying, but it does need to sit for a while to flash off some of its solvent. It should be plenty dry. Now, to get this bedded into the Forma gasket, now put some of this on top. If this thing still leaks, I am going to be so pissed. Ferguson was an awesome inventor, but as far as this design for a filter, for changing a filter, just what a pain in the ass. Take an access cover off of the sump, full of oil. I mean, you got to change the oil at that time anyways, but this is just a messy, nasty job. Okay, I'm going to use my spreading implement again and get this more towards the outside. That's what it looks like up there. Alright, let's get this pig in there. Now, I did not put a gasket on the top of there because this has an O-ring on both ends, and it seals this to the oil shaft, which has holes that allow the oil into the filter. So there's absolutely no need. I think the kit that comes with them, see, it's too big for the filter itself. The kit is also for Mercedes-Benz and other vehicles of the age, so I'm gonna guess that, you know, that was for Mercedes-Benz, not for the old tractor. Okay, just gotta push that little bale out of the way and get this in place and hope I can get the bolt started. Okay, I got a hell of a lot of squeeze out. I got a heck of a lot of squeeze out right there. Because this is non-hardening, I think I'm just gonna mash it back up in there. Oh, that's the gasket itself, and that's the way it looked when I took it off. There's your problem. If I would have never touched that, I would have had no idea. Yeah, see it suck back in? Holy moly. Yeah, this is really a jacked up design, Mr. Ferguson. Unless it's just the pan being, it looks like this is, well, regardless, it's still a bad design. But it looks like this pan's been smacked around a bit. So, the first sign of bulging is where you gotta stop, I guess. What if it's bulging somewhere else? So, the sump pan and the new filter are in place, but I'm going to let that form a gasket vent for a little bit, let it get rid of some of its solvent. It's ethanol and methanol. It should cure fairly quick, but I think I'm going to go ahead and clean this shop while I'm waiting on that. And maybe in a couple hours I'll add the oil to it. It's been about 4 hours now, and I can't see too much down here. I don't have the light on, but that stuff never dries, so I'm going to add some oil and see if we got a leak. And I used to make stuff so much better, just much stronger. All right, I'm gonna throw some oil in there. Oh, I already see oil coming out, and it's coming out pretty quick. Son of a bitch. I do believe that pan has been hit, so the gasket just will not work on there. So we're gonna have to see if Permatex Black is a miracle worker, because it's a, you know, there's a big area that needs to be sealed. So, through the magic of YouTube, the plate is all, the sump cover plate is all nice and clean again. And we'll wait for me to go get some Permatex. I think if I order on Amazon right now, I can get it by Friday. And I'm going to town on Friday, so one or the other. But this is just something to do while it's a rainy day. It's drizzling out there right now. And got the horses and a bunch of cowbirds following them around. Got the horses over right next to the shed, mowing down some of that grass. And I went to the dump today and picked up, around here it's called breaker rock. It's anything from this size down to fines or sand. Picked that up for another project, which is this drain here goes down and across this road that has all this horse shit on it and comes out in the pasture over there. If I don't have this board on here, the water will just go right through the rocks and wash everything out down there, so it has to go down the drain. So I gotta make a box in here so that I can walk right over it. And that breaker rock will be going all along here to the back, so you can get from the front to the back. I gotta rearrange these rocks over to there to catch the breaker. And look at all the lilies that popped up that I missed when I dug them out. I don't know if I'll dig them out or just leave them there and let them pop up in the new walkway. We'll see. But this is another project. The rock for here, I'll be putting that here most of the summer, most likely. I'll just pick some up every time I go to the dump. So it is already getting late. Oh, and I cleaned the shed. It's already getting late. I gotta go take care of other business. Quick look at these. I'm gonna have to do these tomorrow. The acorns. We're getting quite the root on some of them. And I do believe I saw, yeah, it looks like side roots and leaves coming out on some. Yep, there's green there too. So tomorrow, the acorns go into pots, and it's going to be a fair day, so I'll get some other stuff done out in the woods or out in the pasture as well. That's it for today. Stop back tomorrow and see what's going on.